plot of It's a Wonderful Afterlife is kind of a bit crazy, but it's basically about an Indian mum who has a daughter who's a little bit large and has let herself go, and people in the community are really mean about this girl, and the mother has had enough. So whenever people call her fat or ugly, she decides to murder them. But the people she murders come back as ghosts. And so you have this sort of Greek chorus of ghosts sort of following her around, looking to find out why she did it. Well, it is a comedy, despite all the kind of dodgy elements. And I just wanted to sort of make a film set in that West London community of Bend It Like Beckham, but actually show the community in a completely different genre. So we did set out to make a horror film, but actually horror is not something that I can really do, I realised. And so it's much more of a sort of supernatural comedy, which moves to, I think, quite a spiritual place by the end. And within it, there is a love story, because the fat girl does actually find love. And so it's a sort of bizarre rom-com with supernatural elements in it. This wasn't an easy film to shoot because I had sort of ghosts in so many frames all the time with the mother. So at any given time, I always had 6 people in the frame, and that was technically quite challenging to get sort of 6 people in that only she could see and other people couldn't see. So it was forever having to shoot scenes with the ghosts and without the ghosts, but always making allowances for where the ghosts were, even though they weren't in the frame, you know. So technically it used to get a bit complicated. And also for the actors, because they would just have to look at one person, even though the ghosts were speaking, so they couldn't overlap their dialogue over their dialogue. So yeah, it was a little bit technically challenging. And then we had quite a lot of effects with the Carrie scene at the end. We have an homage to Carrie with a kinetic energy scene where everything goes a bit crazy. So we had flying poppadoms and flying curry and samosas, and again that scene it's about 6 minutes in the film, but it actually took about 10 days to shoot. Well, Angus Thong's Perfect Snogging is very much a coming of age story for young girls set in Eastbourne. This, I think, couldn't be more different. This is definitely a completely different genre, but both films still have that sort of very honest sense of truthfulness, actually. I mean, in Angus, Georgia is 16 and, you know, very sort of bolshy and sort of coming of age. And in this one, the heroine is, you know, not a conventional heroine either, in that she's sort of slightly large and has sort of let herself go a little bit. So, I mean, I do like to have heroines that are sort of different to the norm in my films. So in that way, that's where I think both the films come together.